Hi everyone, and welcome to my finance channel where sometimes I teach you about investing, sometimes I teach you about options trading, and rarely do I rant about financial injustices in the world, which is what this video is about. Inflation, the types of inflation, and why it's killing your wealth. I'm going to leave a link where you can sign up for a free little ebook I put together about finance and investing for beginners if you're interested. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I just hit 21,000 subs, hoping to hit 30,000 by the end of the year. So, inflation is the rise of the general price of goods and services in a country. It's related to the purchasing power of your money. So every year, in theory, your money is worth less than the year before. That's fine, we all know that. If you're watching this in summer 2023, the Canadian government says our inflation, not including rent or mortgage, is 2.8%. And in the US, it's down to 3%. But look, everyone says a healthy inflation rate is 2%, so that doesn't mean we're fixed and everything is fine. Look at 2022, inflation was 8%. So the cost of goods last year went up 8%, and then this year the cost of goods have gone up another 3 on top of the already high 8. But that's not all. The only reason this year's inflation seems so low is gas prices went down a lot, so it's kind of bringing things down. Fine, that might help some things, but if you're wondering, hey, my groceries seem to have gone up more than 3%. Well, you'd be right. Groceries are up 8% this year. So last year 8%, this year 8%. This is the first time I've ever bought groceries and had sticker shock. I've never really had to worry. My monthly budget for groceries always seemed generous, but now I have to actually stick to my budget. I have to cut things out or reduce or just watch what I'm spending. Look at some subscription items like Netflix. And some costs, like the cost of some plans, have doubled in 10 years. In 2014, there was a $2 price hike. Then in 2015, there was a $1 price hike. Then the basic membership started to include ads, so then you had to double up and get a premium membership. Then look at Spotify. I just got a notification. My family plan went up from $15.99 to $16.99, all while getting the same service. Nothing changed. That's a 6% increase. And get this, they started to include ads even in the premium version. I know the ads are skippable, but I paid premium. I paid for the ad-free version. Even if they're skippable, all these items are adding up and make me want to go back to being a pirate. If it's on the internet, to me, it's free. What I just described was price inflation. Costs going up, we all know that. It sucks, but it happens. There's one type of inflation that's been happening more rapidly, in my opinion, shrinkflation. The cost of an item stays the same, but the size or the quantity decreases. Just an easy example, Cracker Barrel cheese. It used to be 450 grams for $8. Now it's down to 400 grams for the same price. That's a 10% hit, maybe an 11% hit. We use grams in Canada, so if you're in the US, this used to weigh 100 miles. Or this giant tub of Greek yogurt, it used to be, what was it? It was 750 grams, now it's 700. This one actually went up in price, so I'm getting less and I'm paying more. This is getting two types of inflation, from 750 to 700. So 700 grams in Canada, or in the US, 700 Fahrenheit. Now the next one isn't as obvious, but there's skimpflation, where companies skimp on quality or reduce the quality of their product in order to keep money in their pocket or to get you to buy a new one. This is also called planned obsolescence, which I think is illegal, but it's never really enforced. Think of it when Apple purposely throttled their older phones when there were software updates. The older phones would suddenly get so slow and so bad that you were indirectly forced to buy a new one. Other items like ovens or refrigerators, these used to last a lifetime. Now, because I'm in real estate and I see it a lot, there'll be relatively new kitchen appliances that break down and simply can't be fixed. I'll get repair guys saying these new ones aren't meant to be fixed. You'll be better off buying a new one. The older appliances were meant to last. These new ones will break down, so you have to get a new one. Or the cost might be so much, you might as well just get a new one. There's also a reduction in the types of service for the same price. Earlier, I mentioned Spotify increased their price for the same level of service, price inflation. But an example of this would be airlines are offering less for the same price. We used to get 2 checked bags and meals included in the cost. Then it became 1 checked bag. Now some flights are doing $50 for extra luggage, We're getting less, but we're paying the same. And newest addition to the types of inflation, just inflation. Everyone knew this would be an issue when he said the budget will balance itself, which is a red flag, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. It's actually a joke at this point. $20 billion per year in deficit spending, meaning spending more than we earn or than we create, meaning printing more money to fund everything. This devalues our currency. This creates inflation since we pay more to import goods, all else being equal. I know it's not that simple, but this is just a beginner video. This is just a rant. But not only that, we decided to give another $500 million in aid to the Ukraine, which brings the total spent to $8 billion. And trust me, this isn't given to the military or the people or aid or infrastructure. You know people are getting rich off of this, and don't be naive and say it's going to the war effort, because you know it's not. Just like how the US sent an additional $6.2 billion in aid to the Ukraine. $6.2 billion extra in error to the Ukraine, and it's just an accounting error. You know what's funny? It's never $6.2 billion less. It's never, oh, we didn't give as much as we thought. It's always, oops, we gave someone too much, and funny enough, we can't get it back. Don't be naive. That was done on purpose. That was done to line people's pockets. I say it again and again, the rich get richer and the middle class is paying for it. If you didn't get an 8% raise last year, you're losing money. If you didn't get a 10% raise this year, you're losing money. The 3% inflation quoted by the government doesn't include rent or mortgage. But take a look at the rent increase in Canada. Just rent, 11%. And it's only going up, and it's only going to get worse. Rents went up by 11%, and they only quote inflation as being 3%. So how do I end this? Complain about CEOs and big corporations making all the money. You know how costs are going up, we're all spending more. But where is it going? Is everyone getting hit? No, of course not. Oil and gas companies are hitting record profits. It's all public, just check their financial statements. Loblaws, a big Canadian grocer, they're increasing their profit year over year. Not just their revenue, their profits, that's after expenses, are going up. And you know costs aren't going down. You know the costs never go down, nothing ever goes down. When you see inflation at 2.8 or 3%, it just means the increase slowed, but it's still high. Costs are high right now, and it'll never go down. The middle class is being taxed in the form of inflation, and everyone is too busy working or struggling to keep up with expenses to do anything about it. Most of us are passive. I get it, I'm complaining about it in a YouTube video. Protests don't do anything, they never did. We'll just get slightly poorer every year. Crime and violence will ramp up. It already has, and will slowly descend into a third world country or a failed state. That's all, folks.